Man, listen, guys, listen. I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore, folks. They say the truth is stranger than fiction, and damn it, they're right. Whoever said that shit, they were on to something. I used to always make fun of that statement, like in my head, like, sure, but ever since around 2020, late 2019, 2020 up until now, we're living in a sci-fi movie, folks. We're living in a place where you can stab somebody up and get a first-degree murder charge and raise upwards of $1 million. Listen, things are insane. This is a Twilight Story movie. This is Black Mirror. We are right now living in the fucking future, gang. It's crazy. And things just keep getting weirder because we have another update for you. And I feel like there's going to be a lot more updates to come that are just off, right? Carmelo Anthony, his family, Drew Anthony, the father of Karmelo, they have decided, or they have opted to, getting a public defender because they're broke. They're poor. They're financially unstable. They're poor. Poverty. You know what I'm saying? Shit is crazy. They're like me in 2018. Shit's wild out here. Now, I refuse to believe that. But hey, who knows? All we know for right now is that Carmelo Anthony will be seeing the judge sometime next year, facing this incredibly terrible charge, this life-changing charge with a public defender. Ooh. I was in my comments just scrolling and I'm like, is this misinformation? This is bullshit. Stop spreading misinformation in my comment section. I'm looking through, bro, this shit is real. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to check this thing out. We have a lot of information dropping, from Carmelo Anthony getting a public defender to Austin Metcalf's girlfriend doing a whole eulogy for him. It goes as far as the CEO of GiveSendGo taking fire for the new updates that are going on right now. So let's go ahead and check this thing out. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's do this thing. So first and foremost, we have Sarah Fields, okay? And she's going to be the plug for a lot of information that's popping out in Texas. Obviously, she lives in Texas. She says, breaking, Carmelo Anthony submitted an indigent package to Collin County Court requesting court-appointed legal representation as an indigent, financially destitute defendant. What? Bro, they have to be trolling, right? Just like how Drew Anthony posted that they went to New Orleans or some shit like that. You got to be trolling, right? And the official word for it is financially destitute. I guess a lot of us just be making $500,000 in 6 months. I guess that's just the type of shit that everybody deals with, to be financially destitute, because that's insane. So anyways, they filed that proceeding, but if you think about it, if you think real hard, you try to use all that brain juice up there, they might be financially destitute to handle something like this if they spent that money. And trust me, they were spending that shit. Living expenses, yeah, clothes, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, car, you need travel. However, just 24 hours ago, the Anthony family updated their GiveSendGo campaign to reflect a need to raise an additional $1.4 million for a legal team. Carmelo Anthony's mother, Kayla Hayes, who manages the GiveSendGo, stated on April 17th, 2 months ago, that they had just gained access to the funds. At that time, they had already raised $350,000. The fundraiser has now reached $538,000. Okay, so again, they do have access to it, and they're using it for what it was intended to be used for, right? But the funny, distinct detail between 2 months ago and right now is that they're adding that they need money for all the other shit and the legal team, right? Why are you raising money for a legal team when you just put in a request for a public defender. Now, this could be played two ways, in my opinion. We're looking at this in the wrong way. We're saying, oh, haha, you're saying you're broke. We don't believe that. That's what everybody else thinks. But for the morons out there, because I see them in my comments, the idiot sheep, I call these people sheep. Oh, he's black, so therefore we must support him. I wish, listen, if that black kid stabbed your black kid, you fucking sheep, I wonder how you would respond, right? If that happened within your community, what would Karmelo Anthony be to you then, right? So that you pose that conversation to them, and then they just shut down and start hurling insults. You know why? Because there's no answer to it. You would shun him just like you would shun anybody else, because he's a moron. We don't need him in any of these communities doing that shit. White, black, Hispanic, I don't care if you're white, black, or Hispanic. You don't want to get poked up, do you? Okay, so let's move forward, right? You dumbasses. So for the moron sheep of the world, this could be some sort of a tactic to make them give even more. Now, this is actual filings. They actually filed for a public defender, so I don't know if you can switch out for someone else later, but this could very well be a tug at the heartstrings for all the morons who support this kid. Like, oh my God, he has a public supporter? No. Let's go to GiveSendGo and donate immediately. Let's give him $100 from our hard-earned paycheck. Let's do that to a family that's never going to care about you for the rest of your life. That's what I feel like could be an outcome, or it's what they could be attempting to do. But hey, that's just my speculation. But let's move forward, right? According to a source, their current known attorney, Mike Howard, is more than likely charging a retainer fee of $10,000 to $30,000 and charges $400 per hour. So that's nothing compared to the amount of money they've already raised. If they were actually not spending that shit on new houses and clothes and cars, I'm just assuming, they probably would have that much money to be able to handle him. Where did the money go? Why do they need $1.4 million? Will they be granted indigence and an appointed attorney with a GiveSendGo of this magnitude? Is this considered fraud? Now, again, Sarah's definitely going to dig and dig and dig. But hey, I mean, it does raise the question. I'm not sure if you want to call it fraud or if you want to call it duping people out of their money. But I think those two mean the same thing, right? I don't know. But it makes you raise the question. You ask for all this money, then you do a 360 and ask for an appointed lawyer. And I don't know if this family really understands how the internet works. Everything can be researched, my boy. Especially something like public record documents from a courthouse. So right here, we got Sarah Fields with the screenshot, date 6/25/2025. So while I'm posting videos and everybody's posting videos of what's happening in the now, the family's making moves in the background. And now we're just finding this out the day after. It says event, letter of representation, canceled reason. Then it has the judge, comments, everything else is empty. It says event, indigent packet, attorney appointment eligible. So from that, it kind of seems like he's getting a public defender.
We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made.
So in the wake of all of this happening, we have Mr. Jacob Wells, and he's getting some backlash off of all of this. And you can tell it's kind of affecting him because he's responding to basically nothingness, right? People just tagging him and he's actually engaging. You know that there's a little bit of regret there. But it goes like this. Sarah Fields says, despite filing an indigent package after raising the GiveSendGo goal to $1.4 million for a legal team, Jacob Wells, founder of GiveSendGo, defends the Anthony family by stating, read the Constitution. And this is kind of like a little Twitter war he's having with this person, Phoenix 2A. He says, at Jacob Wells, I'm going to need you to speak up since you called us all liars and all that. Where you at, dude? And then he responds, my suggestion is read the Constitution. Sorry you hate freedom so much. Then Phoenix responds, oh, you're about to get dragged for this. Okay, and this is like a video. This guy, he's in this for money. Jacob Wells, he wants the money. He could give a fuck about Karmelo or Austin. He don't give a fuck about none of that. His whole frontward demeanor, his whole frontward message is that we're a God-fearing company and we just want everybody to experience God's love. This is a little snippet of what he said to kind of defend himself.
Our platform, our mission statement at Give, Send, Go is actually, it's very clear, it's very defined. It's to share the hope of Jesus through the crowdfunding platform that we have. It is all about that in the middle of the dark and difficult situations of life where people need to fundraise, whether it's cancer bills or a car accident or all the difficult or a legal defense fund, that people need hope. And so that's how we approach it. We say we're going after hope in the midst of it. And there's an opportunity for people, even with extreme views. We live in a free society. In free societies, you got to somewhat take the good with the bad. Mm-hmm. And there are some people that have extreme views around certain things. We've had over 500,000 campaigns on Give, Send, Go.
And, you know, he just goes on and on about the Christian mentality and giving people hope. And guess what? You giving people hope and you receiving that money. You receiving that bank. Trust me, everything about Give, Send, Go is to make money, which at the end of the day, that's why you make a business, right? But the way he tries to make it seem like he's so genuine and this is really about spreading the love of God, sir, that's bullshit. Okay, you want some of that money and you got caught by the masses doing some weird shit, supporting some shit that's, you know, I'm not in his position, so I don't know what he should have did. His position was obviously to leave the campaign up. That's his prerogative. But now he's starting to get the backlash and he doesn't really like that. So now he has to go on these little talk shows and try to defend himself. Bro, just say you wanted the money no matter what it was. People will respect you more with that. But let's move forward. Now, before we go, I wanted to show one other rebuttal that a person named Arthur Watkins Jr. had posted. He said Sarah is falsely claiming Karmelo has no legal team. That's a lie. Filing an indigent package does not mean he is unrepresented. It protects eligibility. His fundraiser never ended. It rolled into a higher goal to meet raising legal costs. That's normal. We helped secure his right to graduate. Now you're mad we did. See full statement below, including Karmelo Anthony's attorney's remarks. Now, one thing I will say, filing that type of request I haven't seen before. So it makes a lot of our eyebrows raise. If that's a normal process, somebody who's really versed in law, you let me know down in the comments. But I've never seen that shit happen before. If you had an attorney, the filings never include that. I've never seen that. And we've gone through a lot of legal documents on the stream, just covering shit, finding things out together. Never seen it. Never in my life. In my opinion, it seems like he actually is looking for a public defender. So anyways, he goes down and he writes this statement and then he puts the attorney below. And, you know, interesting choice of formatting it, but it almost feels like for a while, I thought the attorney was the one who said this. This is the attorney alongside something that Arthur Watkins wrote. So this is all Arthur talking right here. In his opinion, he says, June 26, 2025, the American Freedom Legal Fund firmly rejects the misleading and inflammatory statements being pushed by @Sarah is censored regarding Karmelo Anthony's legal situation and public support campaign. First, Karmelo Anthony has legal representation. Filing an indigent package with the court is the standard legal safeguard that preserves eligibility for assistance. It does not cancel or contradict previous legal retention, especially in complex or high-cost cases. Suggesting otherwise is either legally uninformed or intentionally deceptive. Second, the Give, Send, Go campaign has not ended or restarted. It has simply rolled over into a higher goal to reflect the ongoing legal costs. The Anthony family has been transparent about their use of the funds and future needs. This is not fraud. This is how legal fundraising works for most working class families facing extended prosecution. @Sarah is censored is attempting to weaponize financial filings and attack a family in crisis. This is not journalism. It's harassment dressed as outrage. Sir, one thing I will agree with, this is a rollover. So it's not like they're asking for $1.4 million more. They're asking for $1.4 million total. Secondly, Sarah Fields already mentioned that they have an attorney and she wasn't sure whether or not this contradicted with it. But I will say for myself, I've never seen something like this happen. And the fact that you have Arthur Watkins typing this shit out as if he's part of this thing is kind of odd to me. I want the Karmelo Anthony family to come out and say that. I want the attorney, which I've never seen a statement from other than this video. I want the attorney to come out and be like, yeah, I'm still on the case. I'm yet to see that. So, you know, it's probably a matter of hours. You might see another video from me in the next couple of hours, depending on what happens next. But things are updating every single second, folks. So stay tuned, man. The Karmelo Anthony case is getting rolling, and a lot more information is about to be spilled out. So I'll see you guys real soon. Stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all. Thank you for 60,000 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Hit like on the video. I'm out. Peace.